What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of Purple Parlor. The boys are back from the bye week and are ready to talk about a very, very important game to the Minnesota Vikings 2024 season against these Detroit Lions. And we got some other things to get to.
I say the same. I say the same. I say the same. Alright.
What is going on, y'all? We made it back from the bye and we're ready to talk some Vikings football. But how are we feeling, fellas? It's your boy SK, Realistic Randy Rap. This is the Purple Parlor. How we feeling, fellas?
Feeling great. Best division in football. NFC North is kicking all sorts of ass. Ready to get to it. Detroit Lions coming up. Biggest test of the season. Ready to rock and roll.
Yes, for sure. Like yesterday, I was like, man, I was hoping at least one of the NFC North teams would lose. But, again, like Randy said, bro, we smack. And it's like not only just winning, like they're out here dominating, man. It's crazy, bro. Like the NFC North, tough right now. It's tough.
Yeah, and they're talking about a graphic earlier today. I know it was on the herd and it was kind of floating around on Twitter as well. The top 4-point differential teams in the league are all NFC North teams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best division in the league. And we're the best team in the best division in the league. So, we got some bragging rights there. But if we're all gonna gather around and kumbaya for a little bit as NFC North foes, I guess we can all kind of find refuge in that. But other than that, fuck y'all. Fuck the Bears. Fuck the
Yeah,
Vikings.
for sure.
And most
That was
importantly
short-lived.
this week, fuck the Lions. So
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man, I think we all kind of said it right there. Best division in football. I mean, you have the Bears that did what, again, it's the Jags. I'm not gonna sit here and like jerk off the Bears all day or anything like that. But beating a team like that, it's got to be impressive. Still an NFL team. And then you had the Packers just kind of being the Packers.
Yeah.
Like it seems like all their games kind of go the same way, and they look really good for one half, and then the next half they don't look very good. And then you have the Detroit Lions, who absolutely dominated the Dallas Cowboys. And I know we like talking shit about the Cowboys, and I don't think many Vikings fans like the Cowboys overall, but they got a lot of talent on that team, and Detroit really put it to them. So you got to give them credit there. And then obviously the Vikings being on a bye, but being 5-0 and being one of the only two 5-0 teams in the league, right alongside the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. So, I mean, I'm not going to say is it reason for concern to be in the best division in football, but let me say, I'll ask this. Could this be the first time all four teams in a division make the playoffs?
It's possible. I think with the Bears, it's still wait and see mode. I think Caleb Williams is getting better. He went from, oh man, is this a bust, too early to put that title on him, to where even though it's against the Jaguars, you can't control who you face, who your opponent is. But we got to see them up against better quality opponents consistently. I think that's the only thing. Even though they narrowly lost to the Houston Texans and they're considered one of the better teams in the league, but outside of Chicago, Minnesota's for real. I'm going to say Green Bay is for real. I'm also going to say Detroit is for real. I don't think there's any cause for concern because when you have, and I'm going to include Chicago in this as well, when you have all four teams above 500 looking really good, that can only mean good things for those other three teams, because when you're facing those divisional opponents, it's only going to make you better in the long run. I would say the divisional opponents are the best opponents that you are going to face for this entire season. So I welcome it. I think iron sharpens iron, and in that case, it's the NFC North. So I have no concern whatsoever. This is the best team in the league. The rest of the teams in the division, they're starting to catch up, which is great, but I welcome the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. It is gonna be a dogfight, man. It's gonna be a dogfight for the top. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I do believe our team is the best in the division right now. So that makes me feel good. The Lions game, man. This game right here, what we leading into Sunday, man. This gonna be the game right here for sure. Like as far as their offense matched up with our defense, man, that's gonna be really what I'm excited to see. Because we can't, we what we can't do is allow like how we did with the Packers, like go come out the gates hard and then get lazy on defense. Because I think the Lions they can put up points quickly. So we got to make sure we just just keeping our foot on the gas the whole time, man. Offensively and defensively, for sure.
And this will be our second divisional game within the NFC North. And there's only been one NFC North matchup so far this season. That was us and the Packers. So
Yeah.
a lot of that's going to kind of play out eventually as the season goes on. Once those divisional matchups once the Lions start playing the Bears, I think we can all agree the Lions are probably going to put on these Bears later on in the season. Then you got Packers playing the Lions. They'll probably split games. But going real quick, and we're not going to spend too much time on the Bears, obviously, but kind of just to aid what Randy said, because if we have any Bears fans in here talking, oh, well, it doesn't matter. You play who you play on your schedule. Well, if we look at your first 5 games or 6 games, excuse me, you have Titans against the Bears, and Will Levis literally threw that game away. Literally threw that game away. Then they lose to the Texans in week 2, lose to the Colts in week 3, who's also not a very impressive team. That's an Anthony Richardson-led Colts team as well.
Rich Gay.
And then they go and beat up a beat-up Rams team at home in Chicago, blow out the Panthers, and we know what the Panthers are this year, and obviously blowing out the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. So, I mean, I give credit where credit's due, but at the same time, this is probably the easiest part of their schedule to where it's going to tighten up for them, and that record's not going to look so pretty at the end of the day. So that's kind of it with the Bears. But I think we all agree here, the Lions are obviously the biggest threat to the Vikings in the NFC North. Packers, obviously, it's always going to be rocky road between them. We either usually split or it's going to be really 2 tough games. And the first one is extremely tough, but we got one at home against them coming up. Yeah. So it's the Lions. The Lions are the number 1 threat. I'm sure you guys would agree with that, right?
Yeah. The only thing I don't like though is that ever since, starting today, like after yesterday with the Lions did what they did to the Dallas Cowboys. And I know you say the Dallas Cowboys have a ton of talent, but they also have 5 starters on defense that are hurt. Micah Parsons, like a lot of their defenders are hurt. And, they're still trying to find a rhythm on offense. So, I mean, you really don't get any brownie points, in my opinion, beating the Dallas Cowboys. They're really not that good this year, especially when you talk about the defenders being out, a lot of their star defenders being out yesterday against the Lions. But what I don't like is that now all of a sudden the Lions are like the best team in the NFL and all this craziness just because of how they beat up on a just a hurt team. So this is a statement game for the Vikings, man. We really got to go in there, and real quick too, man, is a prayers for Hutch, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't never want to see that, man. And Hutch, he obviously a Michigan Wolverine, man.
Yeah, that's our boy.
That's our boy for sure. Even though he was on the Lions, man, I wish we would have been able to go against him this Sunday. But man, prayers for his speedy recovery too, though, man, for sure.
Yeah, that was a nasty injury.
That was nasty, bro. I still haven't even watched the video, bro. Yeah. I can't watch it.
Luckily, it was a bone break, and I don't think any ligaments were like torn or anything like that. So a bone break, you'd much rather long term, you'd much rather have the bone break than you would ligament.
Yeah, but he gonna have he gonna have a metal rod up in there. I ain't gonna lie, that's the way that leg broke, boy. He gonna
there's an Anderson Silva-esque for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. But they dominated though, I will say. So even though the Dallas Cowboys, even if they were healthy, they were still gonna underachieve no matter what. They have the former head coach for the Vikings leading their defense, and we knew what that was going to look like. And then on top of that, this was like foreshadowed. If you just objectively analyzed what the Cowboys did where they didn't make any big free agent additions. They bring on Mike Zimmer, who failed as a head coach. His defense sucked ass. And then they went ahead and gave Dak Prescott that big ass contract. That I'm of the mindset now, talking about specifically with quarterbacks, I'm not interested, if I'm a GM, giving a quarterback a bleep ton of money because, well, it's the quarterback position and we're forced to do it. What else are we going to do? When you know that veteran guy isn't going to get anything done. He hasn't done anything for you before. He's sure as hell not going to do anything right now. And everybody's clowning who? Dak Prescott and Mike Zimmer. So even if they were healthy, they were going to be bad. But like Rap said, they were hurt. So, okay, that's not necessarily something to boost the Lions about. However, a hurt team that sucks baseline, you dominated them. You did what you were supposed to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, on the road too. Now I know Dallas doesn't have some crazy home field advantage by any means, but
they haven't won at home yet.
Still on the road though. Still on the road. So look, we're giving credit where credit is due. We know Detroit's a very, very good team. They are the reigning NFC North champs. So until somebody beats them, they are still the NFC North champs. So we have an opportunity this week to get things going. Now, I mean, obviously we hate the whole injury thing for Hutch, but at the end of the day, that's gonna prove mildly in that game against the Lions. It's
it's like I don't want to sit here and say like it's gonna benefit, but I mean in reality though, when you lose a player of his caliber, bro, because he is a game wrecker, yes, it is gonna benefit the Minnesota Vikings. But I would much rather, as a fan of football in general, and just a fan of the Hutch, man. You know, me and SK, obviously we're Michigan fans, so like I would have loved to have him on the field going up so we can test our guys. And to be real with you, I believe when you're talking about our tackles, whether he lined up against Darisaw or he lined up against O'Neal, I think they're good enough. I mean, you obviously ain't gonna completely cut him out the game, but you can slow him down some way. And I would have still been confident either way, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, real quick with the Lions, this is a season-defining injury for them.
It is.
Because they don't have depth behind Aiden Hutchinson. The guy they went out and signed this offseason for depth or to play alongside Aiden Hutchinson, you guys know who that is?
No, who?
Marcus Davenport. And guess what?
What?
He's hurt.
And he's on IR. And he's on IR.
He is. Oh, boy.
So we all know, if you guys watch enough football, I know the three of us know, if you want to be a Super Bowl contending team, you got to be able to rush the passer. And I think that's going to be the downfall of the Detroit Lions. I'm not saying they're not a great team or they're not going to make a run, but when it comes down to it, if you can't rush the passer, you got problems.
Yeah.
So Aiden Hutchinson not being there, and he was up for Defensive Player of the Year as him, TJ Watt, and those are probably the top two guys right there. So losing a guy of his caliber is a huge, huge hit. Now, what scares me going into this game on Sunday is Detroit is a very emotional team, and they fall right along line with their head coach. Very emotional. They react on emotions. And for a game like this, losing your superstar player, that can prove to kind of motivate this team that much more going into this game. Now we can talk about what's missing when he isn't on the field and everything like that, but momentum and emotion are two very, very big things in the game of football. So I don't expect this Detroit team to just roll over and look like shit when we play them on Sunday. They're going to come out with some attitude because we're going into this game. This is a first for us, guys. We're favored.
Yeah,
we're actually
1.5.
I think 1.5. Some sports books have us as 2-point favors.
Yeah,
favorites. So
we were favored against the Jets too, though.
But not a lot of people were expecting us to be favored going into this.
But to be favored against Detroit, though, I get it. Though. Being off the
so it's surprising, and we never really get the benefit of the doubt as the Minnesota Vikings fans when it comes to favorites and spreads. We're always kind of the underdog, which we like. That's what we
even
like.
At home, right? Which
even
is
at
crazy
home,
as hell.
But that's what we like. So this game is ultimately, Rap says it all the time, usually it's 3 points to the home team. They got us as 1.5, 2-point favorites. It's pretty much a pick 'em. But no, that's a huge hit for the Detroit Lions. But the emotional base, the emotional standpoint, teams always, not always, but usually come out that first game after losing a big player, big name player, or something drastic happens within their team or franchise, and they come out motivated and they play really, really good. And half the time they come out with the upset victory. So that's the thing that concerns me, is that this team's going to be extremely motivated, more than what they usually are.
I think they already have the bulletin board material. I saw from ESPN that Rex Ryan said, paraphrasing here, that the loss of Aiden Hutchinson may have hurt the Lions' Super Bowl chances. And I'm sure a guy like Dan Campbell is going to use that and say, look at this. They don't believe in us. What are we going to do about that? Let's prove all the haters wrong. I like the fact that this is going to be a home game, and this is going to be a showdown. This is going to be the game of the week. I mean, if the NFL was smart enough, I think it's too late now to do this. They would flex this into a primetime game. These are two of the best teams in the best division league-wide, and you're going to have it at 1 o'clock Eastern. Okay, go ahead and do that. But I like the fact that this is at home, because if this was on the road, that emotional loss of Aiden Hutchinson and then going into Ford Field and the crowd just all super jacked up, I like that it will be neutralized because it's going to be at US Bank Stadium. But the coaching matchup, Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores, I mean, this is the ultimate test. Two of the best at what it is that they do. Yeah, man, this is, if you love football, even if you're not a fan of the Vikings or the Lions, this is great football. This is must-see TV.
It is, man. And shout out to our home crowd too, man. You know, that's going to be, I mean, because the bank, like, we know SK being there for week 2, and just what we've seen on TV, even with the Texans game that we heard was even louder than week 2. And I can't even believe that, because I'm like, there ain't no way it can be more jack into week 2. But it was, you know what I mean? Like, crazy. The word was it was. So, you know, the bank right now definitely feeling like that home field advantage for real. And, you know, we're going to be super loud, because this game right here, this is going to be a playoff atmosphere, man.
Yeah.
Like, this game is going to have playoff atmosphere vibes already in week 7, man. It's going down. NFC North football, man, is lit, man. I'm glad to be a part of this division for sure, because I think there's going to be a couple games like this that are going to be lined up like this. You know what I mean? So
for the Vikings?
Yeah, like going against, when we're talking about our division, like the Bears, if you just think about if everybody kind of stays in the same, like where we're only 1-2 games away, like the games later in the season, these things are going to be, they're going to be intense, man.
Okay.
Very interesting. But I mean, if you want to line up the numbers side by side with Brian Flores' defense versus Ben Johnson's offense, Lions offense points per game is number 1 in the league. Vikings defense, number 3 in the league. Points per play for Lions offense are number 1 in the league. Points per play for Vikings defense, number 1 in the league. 1 versus 1.
Oh my God.
Yards per game. Now, we all know we give up a pretty good chunk of yards, but that's mainly because we're up by 17 points in the second quarter. So Lions are number 3 in that stat on the offensive side of the ball. Vikings are right in the middle of the pack at 14th, allowing 330 yards per game. Pass yards, obviously, we know that's kind of a blown up stat for our defense. They're 30th in the league. I think we are dead last.
No, the Dallas Cowboys are the dead last. They're number 32.
So we're raising up the ranks a little bit. We were at 31 last week, I think. But pass yards per game, Lions are 4th in the league. Rush yards per game, Lions are 4th in the league. Vikings 2nd in the league against the run. Yards per play, Lions are 3rd in the league. Vikings are 5th against yards per play. Third down conversion, 44% for the Lions. That's good for 7th in the league. Vikings defense allowing 31% on third down. That's 4th in the league. And this is where, I mean, you can say for both sides, where both sides may struggle. Red zone percentage. The Lions are 16th in the league in the red zone. Vikings are 17th in the league against offense in the red zone. Turnovers, they are 4th in the entire league, giving up the ball, only giving up 4 turnovers this year. Vikings are 2nd in the league, getting 13 turnovers, and obviously sacks on the year, 20. That's good enough for third in the league. And then that's with a bye as well, just FYI. And then the Lions giving up sacks. They're 6th in the league, only giving up 10 sacks on the year. So this is a very even battle. It's going to be a very interesting chess match between Brian Flores and Ben Johnson in this game. And that's one that I'm particularly going to look at, because I don't think our offense is going to necessarily struggle. I know we have our moments here and there throughout games, but I think our offense is going to be humming. I think our offense is going to, especially with Aaron Jones looking like he's going to be back. He was a full participant at practice today, even though
that's good to know.
Even though it was it was just a walk around. It wasn't a padded practice. This was supposed to be an off day anyway, but coming off a bye, they went out and did some walkthroughs. But he is a full participant, as well as TJ Hawkinson and Dalton Risner as well. So, you know, we're looking healthy, man. We're looking healthy, but very even matchup.
We can get to that too about your boy Dalton. You say Risner, I say Risner. It don't matter. Same damn difference if you ask me.
Rizzler.
Who needs the start? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we kind of touched on this last week. But listen, well, we touched on this last week, but now it's official. He's back. You know what I'm saying? So now the word is the word. And I know I actually did a video just recently tonight, and I agree. I'm on Team Randy with how he feel. I don't even think that Ed Ingram should even get the start on Sunday, if you ask me. All right. I seen some of these stats again, and it just pissed me off. Out of 78 qualified right guards, this man is damn near ranked last in all of it. You know what I'm saying? He's like 76 and pressures allowed, sacks allowed, pass, block, and run. Like, he's just horrible, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to fix that. And this is the week to fix it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, this is a big game.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it comes down to honestly just the matchup between Ben Johnson and Brian Flores. If Flores can win that matchup, then it comes down to the two, I don't want to say weaker links of each team, but not as great as their strengths, obviously, whereas the Vikings offense going up against the Lions defense, the Lions defense isn't all that good. The Vikings, they make their mistakes from time to time on offense. Aaron Jones, if he can return, that would be huge. TJ Hawkinson, if he can return, that'd be great as well. I think as long as Flores gets the better of Ben Johnson, the Vikings should win this game, simply because the Lions defense, they don't really, in my humble opinion, pose that much of a threat. It's offense or bust for them.
Yeah, no, it's either
I got something about. Yeah.
It's either a shootout for them or they're blowing somebody out. It's never really a low scoring tight game for the Detroit Lions. I may have missed a game this year where it was like that, but it's usually always high scoring for the Detroit Lions. They got to put up big points, and that's going to be tough for them against our defense. I'm going to say that right now.
Yeah, that's a fact. I got something about the TJ Hawkinson. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, listen, TJ Hawkinson is a great tight end, but something is worrying me, man, about if Sam Darnold is gonna be able to utilize TJ Hawkinson the right way, because you have quarterbacks that don't utilize the tight end, right? And when I look at when I look at Sam Darnold, there's a couple plays, if you go back and watch the all 22s, where he misses Johnny Munt wide the hell open. Yeah, he misses a ton of tight ends that be wide open because he rather hit Addisons and the Justin Jeffersons, which I get it. You're right, I get it, but you have to know how to use your tight end. That's actually a skill coming from a quarterback. And does Sam Darnold possess that? So we're going to be able to actually see a new side of Sam Darnold, hopefully, when TJ Hawkinson comes back into the lineup, and hopefully we get we get what we're excited for as Vikings fans. TJ Hawkinson's coming back. We're going to see the ball thrown to him. Because in my opinion, I feel like we're going to see the opposite, where we're going to say, damn, TJ Hawkinson, 2 catches, 30 yards. Like, what's going on, man?
That's what you think's going to happen?
I think it's scheme-wise. I think it's more scheme-wise. It's KOC. It's KOC telling Sam, hey, look, you're going to have Addison here. You're going to have Jets here. Hell, you're even going to have Naylor over here. Johnny Munt is probably the 5th or 6th option on this offense. Like, let's be real.
That's true.
Like, and then you got Aaron Jones as well. So you got to remember, look, we love what Sam Darnold's doing right now.
Yeah.
But as we've done in shows past, giving KOC his credit, I know KOC is in Sam Darnold's ear saying these are the guys we want to get the ball to. Johnny Munt's not some game-changing tight end or game breaker. So
Right.
we're not going out of our way drawing up plays for Johnny Munt. Now, when TJ Hawkinson comes back, that changes a little bit, obviously. We're going to have plays built in, or we already got plays built into this playbook, but we're going to have plays built directly around TJ. Hey, let's get TJ open on this play. Let's get TJ here. Let's get TJ in space. So I think it's more schematics wise. But with what you're saying as far as the stat line goes, I don't expect TJ Hawkinson to jump right in and have 9 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It's not going to happen that way. This guy is coming back from ACL surgery. It's going to be a while for him to get his feet wet. As you can see from Mark Andrews when he started this season, he did not look fresh the first few weeks of the season until he started getting his feet underneath him. Now,
he's still I get what you're saying.
But I'm just saying, a big guy like that, he's carrying around a whole lot of weight. You got to ease him into these things. We can't just throw him into the fire coming off an injury like that. So I feel like he's going to be on a snap count, and his numbers are going to be limited the first few weeks that he's playing until he starts to get back into that game shape. And they say, okay, TJ's ready. Let's really, use him the way we want to use him.
And once he's 100%, I don't even think it will take KOC to talk to Sam. I think Sam will just realize it himself, whereas against the Jets, Addison and Jefferson combined had 22 targets. Everybody else had 2 or lower. I think Sam, once Hock is 100% and ready to go, no snap count, just go ahead and unleash. I think he's going to view Hawkinson equally as he does Jefferson and Addison. I think it's going to help him spread the ball around. I don't think he's going to need KOC to do it, but if an extra boost is warranted, then okay. But once this team is all healthy, that includes Hock and Aaron Jones, man, this team's going to be so much better, and it's why I feel so confident that, hey, I said this earlier today, man, I think worst case scenario, like I have to adjust my record prediction for this team. I think worst case scenario, they go 15-2.
Yeah.
Worst.
That's if we beat Detroit this week, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's under the assumption that they beat Detroit. I think best case scenario, they can go 16-1.
Yeah. And now is it official that TJ Hawkinson's actually playing this Sunday? Like, did they?
No.
It hasn't been announced.
Okay,
no, that he's like back in
he's
practicing
just at practice now.
They designated the practice window for him.
Gotcha,
So it'll be another couple weeks before we see TJ Hawkinson on the field. It's not going to be the Rams game because that's a short week. It may be right after the Rams game.
Yeah.
So who's after the Rams? I believe we have Jacksonville?
I think it might be that Jacksonville game. Maybe.
No,
I can. It is. Well, no, it's the Colts.
The Colts.
Let them play against the Colts.
Colts at home. That seems like
a good game to put him back in.
You're coming off a Thursday night game where you have a couple extra days to rest up. Colts game seems like the perfect spot for TJ Hawkinson. Yeah. So, in my personal opinion. But let's get some shout outs in here, man. Obviously, Queen Mary Fist tapping.
Mary.
Appreciate you, Mary. Too Evil to Hope, our guy.
Yep.
Let's go.
That's our dude out there in Minnesota. He's Mr. Minnesota, man. Mr. Minnesota out there. He is showing us all the spots not to go to. Hippie Lungs, welcome in. Skull for Life, our guy, as always, tapping in with us. Mr. Mock Draft, Bob Swede. No mocks today, Bob. No mocks today. I'm sorry. Not yet. We're in playoff mode. We're ready to get this, Super Bowl.
We in playoff mode already. Let's go.
Hey, this is playoff environment this year, baby.
Yeah.
This week against the Lions.
Yeah.
And then we got our guy Two Tone. What's up, Two Tone? Appreciate you tapping in as always. Did you send him his prize wrap?
Yeah, it'll be there. I think it'll be there tomorrow, Wednesday. The tracking.
All right, there you go. Two Tone left before he won his giveaway at Skullfest. But side note though, we haven't even made this announcement yet, guys, and I forgot to let you guys know last week. We are officially on Spotify. So when you're at work and it's kind of difficult to watch our podcast or listen to our podcast on YouTube, you can just go ahead and go over to Spotify, search Purple Parlor, and you'll have all our episodes there, just the audio for you to click on and listen to while you're at work or while you're driving or wherever you want to go. So make sure to go ahead and follow us on Spotify. Give us those listens on there as well. You know, we love our YouTube community, but I know it's difficult sometimes. I believe someone brought it up, and that's kind of the main reason why we went out and said, you know what, we need to get on Spotify. I'm still working on the Apple podcast side of things. So we're getting the Apple thing going too, but we're on Spotify. Go ahead and give us a follow on Spotify as well and get those audio listens in too. So we appreciate y'all, man. Welcome in Wiggins World. Says SK, is this the free agent class we've ever brought in?
I think he's asking, is this the best? Yeah, is this the best?
So far, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely so far. Would you guys agree with that?
Well, let me add this qualifier to it as well. Losing Danielle Hunter, we all thought, oh man, how are you going to recover from that?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a great player, no doubt. But the Vikings, before this past week, because they're on a bye, they were number 1 in the league in sacks. Now, after the bye, currently 3rd in the league in sacks. As great of a player as Danielle Hunter is, him being gone, are we really missing Danielle Hunter with the free agent additions that we've brought in AVG and Jonathan Grenard? It's a resounding no. So I would have to say best free agent class, it's up there. If not, it's number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, not just losing Danielle Hunter, but I mean, we can sit here and talk about how each one of us feel or do not like Kirk Cousins, but losing a guy like that at that position, a team usually takes a hit for a couple years. Man, we moved off of Kirk. He could have done a lot better than the guy we have now, or we got some stopgap quarterback. No, haven't skipped. Actually, look better. Haven't skipped a beat. So I would say yes. So far, absolutely. If we can continue this trend throughout the entire 2024 season, 100%. I don't remember a better free agency class than this for the Minnesota Vikings. I can't name one.
Same.
I mean, Andrew Van Ginkel by his damn self. You feel me? Like is better than Danielle. And this ain't no shot at Danielle, man. I love Danielle Hunter and everything he's done for the Minnesota Vikings. Like, loved rooting that dude on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But man, Andrew Van Ginkel's a lot funner to watch. I'm gonna just keep it real, bruh. Like, he really is. That dude there is, man. That dude there play some football, man.
In a different way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Danielle was strictly get after the passer. That's it. Van Ginkel, he's gonna
he offers versatility. Yeah,
versatility. He's not as good of a pass rusher as Danielle Hunter, so we're not gonna sit here and say that.
No.
But he can still rush the passer. Still a very good pass rusher. But he also adds that other element to where he can snap back and kind of run those see and ghost plays and pick dudes off and take them back for 6. Danielle Hunter never had that in his repertoire. So that's why he's more exciting. So
yeah,
not to argue with you or nothing, but in a different way, he's definitely more exciting.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, I'd much rather have him than Danielle Hunter. That's all I'm saying. I'd much rather have what we like got rid of Danielle Hunter and the guys we brought in when you're talking about Grenard and Cashman and Van Ginkel, because that's pretty much the 3 guys that pretty much came in as a replacement of Danielle Hunter, if you look at it, because it all happened around the same time. Like those guys right there, man. Hey, I'll take it any day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
any day.
Well, once we switched to that multiple D kind of 3-4 look, Danielle Hunter we tried it, never really worked out. He still put up some good numbers as far as rushing the passer, but overall, it just wasn't a fit for him. He's not right for a 3-4 defense. He's back with a 4-3, or at least they use him more as a 4-3, hand in the dirt pass rusher. So he's where he should be as far as the type of defense that he needs to be. And Van Ginkel as well. He's doing this thing over here. So I'm happy. I think we're both happy. It's a win-win for both sides, in my opinion. Danielle gets to go back home to Houston.
Is he from Houston? That's where he's from?
Yeah, he's from down there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
yeah, he's back home. He got paid. Like, I'm happy for him. And we're happy as Vikings fans for having the guys that we were able to sign with the money that we would have given Danielle Hunter, which was multiple guys on this defense that are all making a difference. So I think we're all kind of in agreement here that so far this season, if it continues, this is the best free agency class that the Minnesota Vikings have ever had. Hands down.
Absolutely.
Hands
Absolutely.
down. So, but going into this Detroit game, let's start, I know we touched on it a little bit, but let's go into a little more detail as far as this Lions game. I'll ask you guys this. Is this the two most dominant teams in the NFL right now? Quote unquote best teams in the NFL right now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the offensive side, for the Lions, yes. And for the Vikings, defensively, yes. That's why it's a clash of the Titans. Who's going to break first? Who's going to get the better of these two teams? Polar opposites. But league wide, I mean, who else is there? You got to throw the Kansas City Chiefs
Yeah.
just by default, because even though they always look clunky to start the year, they don't get sexy wins as the season gets later and later into the game. They get better and better, but that's really it. I can't think of any other team right now that I would say is on par with the Vikings and the Lions other than Kansas City.
Maybe the Ravens.
Maybe the
Maybe.
Ravens. The Ravens are playing some good football right now.
Yeah, right now, but they can be had. They're what, 3-2 or 4-2, right? All right, they're 4-2 right now. They did get a nice win.
They started 0-2, I believe, and they rattled off 4 straight.
Yeah.
Right. So there's the boogeyman. Can Lamar Jackson overcome his playoff woes? That sort of a thing. It's one of those, like, on paper, yes, but and you could say the same thing about the Vikings. I mean, when's the last time that they made a playoff run? 2017.
Yeah.
But I would say right now it's the Vikings, the Lions, and Kansas City.
Yeah. And Hippie has a good point too. Like, I think what gives us the edge is our offense is better than Detroit's defense. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. Detroit's pass defense is horrible, bruh. Like, we should be able to toss the rock on them.
And now that's without Aiden Hutchinson too,
Yeah.
which again we spoke about it earlier. Their pass defense wasn't very good to begin with. Now you take out their best defensive player and best pass rusher. It's not looking nice.
I will say Brian Branch though, like that dude there, like he's an animal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
Brian Branch is an animal, dog. Like we could have had him too. I think
Another guy that fell
year.
to the second round. Yep.
Like
you're gonna need big performances from the secondary, because Detroit, they love to make big explosive plays. And one thing that I've noticed through the first 5 games is that even though they're undefeated, if there's one thing you can point at defensively and say, all right, that's an area of concern right there, I feel like at least twice a game, through all 5 games, that zone defense, I don't know if it's a cover 3 or whatever the hell it is, not X's and O's guy. I just know it's a zone defense. 2 or 3 times a game, at least, the opposing offense finds that deep pass over the middle against that zone defense. And now you're going up against the Detroit Lions, who offensively love to throw deep passes. That's the one thing you're going to need a big game from the corners and the safeties in this one.
And they have a really good offensive line too, so it's going to be
very good.
You know, they might have the best. They might have the best offensive line, to be honest with you. So like, it's going to be a challenge for our pass rushers too, and Brian Flores kind of putting those blitz packages together to find some space to get back there to golf. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, listen, I'm excited about this game though, because this is the type of game we really gonna see. I know it seems like ever since week 2. Every single game has been the game, right? As the Vikings, this is going to show us what the Vikings
always
really are.
is.
It always is, man, which is crazy. But this one, like in reality,
this is the one.
The game. Like this is it. Yeah. This is it Sunday, bro.
Well, yeah, for right now until the end of the season, this is kind of what gets you bragging rights in the division, and quite honestly, in the NFC, because we can say Kansas City's the best team in the league because that's a defending Super Bowl champions. We kind of know what they do. Like Randy said, they start off clunky, but when it's playoff time, they know how to turn on that switch. So we can give them the number 1 spot. I'm cool with that. I respect that. But if you're looking at the NFC, this is right now, if everything stopped, we stop the count and we're in the playoffs, this is the NFC championship right here.
Yeah.
So that's how you got to think about it going into this game. This is the NFC Championship. These are the two best teams. But what it comes down to, and like we said, Brian Flores' defense versus that Ben Johnson offense, and that great offensive line for Detroit, Flores is going to have to scheme his ass off to get pressure on Goff.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to just – I mean, we haven't done it all season to just line up 4 linemen and rush our 4 linemen. Like, we're always up on the line of scrimmage. We always make it extremely difficult to read a defense pre-snap. So we're going to do that, but it's going to take Flores to really scheme his ass off to get pressure on Goff. And we all know if you're able to get pressure on Goff, he's going to be flustered. He's going to turn the ball over. It's kind of a Kirk Cousins situation to where once you get in his face, you bang him up a little bit, he's going to give you some opportunities to turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. So we got to get in Goff's face. We got to scheme it up on the defensive side of the ball to get pressure on him. Not only is this a big test for this defensive line and Brian Flores, but this is a bigger test for our secondary.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think our secondary has necessarily been tested all the way that we expected it this season. This is the game where they get tested. How good is this secondary really? We know Shaq Griffin has been playing great. Stephon Gilmore has been playing great. So
Byron Murphy. Don't piss me off Sunday. Don't piss me off, dog. I already know he is. I already know he is. I already know he is.
That he's going up against Jameson Williams.
Yeah, he'll piss me off at least once or twice. For sure. That's a guaranteed fact. Guaranteed.
So this is a big test for our secondary. So I'm excited to see how the hell this works out.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be fun to watch.
You got an opportunity to really prove something here of how good of a damn team you are. Another measuring stick.
But this is my thing. Even if we lose this game, let's just say, and I don't want to speak that into existence, but let's just say hypothetically we lose this game by 3 points or a touchdown. Mm-hmm. That still isn't gonna say, well, oh, the Vikings aren't a good football team. Now the media will probably say that. Because they're waiting for us to fall, right? They're waiting for us to take that first loss so they can say, see, I told you. They beat that. When they play somebody that matters, they're going to lose, right? But at the end of the day, as Vikings fans, we should know. Like, even if it's a close fall, it has to be close. Like, we can't look like the Cowboys now. No, but I'm saying if it's a fight, which I know we're not because we're way better than that. But as long as it's a fight, we go out fighting. Man, it's not going to change anything or any way how I feel about our football team, and it shouldn't change any way how anybody else feels as far as Vikings fan goes against the team either, bro. Because we still a damn good football team regardless. But we're going to catch the dub, though. We'll talk about that.
Call me crazy, though. Sometime within this season, we're going to need kind of a humbling game. I think we need it. Like
not no Dallas humble though now.
No, not no ass whooping humble. But sometimes you need to, hey, look, we're not a perfect team. There's shit that we need to get right and that we need to get going. Now, I'd much rather go into the playoffs 16-1 than 17-0. I mean, am I crazy for saying that?
Yes. I mean, no, you're not. You're not crazy. I get what it is that you're saying.
Like,
because
let's get that loss out the way.
Get it out the way so you know what it feels like right now through all of the praise that you're getting. And then that way, when you get battle tested in the playoffs, I understand. I agree with you. That's why I'm not saying they're going to go 17-0, 15-2, 16-1 sounds crazy. They'll get a loss somewhere that I think they'll be fine. But a chance to go 17-0 and break the Dolphins record and win the Super Bowl. Hey, man,
for that.
I want that so bad. Actually, I just want a championship regardless. I don't care how you get it done. But the idea of 17-0 and make a Super Bowl run.
Imagine the first Super Bowl the Vikings ever win. It's a perfect season. Like, bro, the story don't get no better. But Packers fans, Lions fans, they would hate us, man. We would be, that would just be amazing, bro. Although I do have my reasons why I don't want the Vikings to have a perfect season. For the ones who don't know, I have an autographed football from the 72 Dolphins, who were the only team. So, like, if they do happen to go all the way. I mean, it'll be bitter. It'll be bittersweet. It'll be bittersweet. You know what I mean? Because I want to. You know, that's how I'm retiring off that football. You feel? I'm retiring off that football.
Vikings fans, we can't have the greatest of joy because Rap needs to stay happy, everybody.
Gotta stay happy for Rap.
The football gonna lose value. It's gonna lose value. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I still want to win the Super Bowl, but I can't let my football lose value, bro.
Well, obviously, huge game this Sunday. Next time we play the Detroit Lions after Sunday, week 18.
Yeah.
So it may come down to that game for the division and possibly the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs, which that could be huge, especially for the Vikings and the home field advantage that we seem to have this year. That's going to be huge. You want to have home field advantage in the playoffs because I don't care how ugly a team looks getting into the playoffs, what their record is. We know the playoffs are a different beast. So you got to have every advantage you possibly can going into the playoffs. So, man, I'm excited for that game. Big opportunity to show the world what kind of team you are.
Man, it feel good talking about the playoffs week 7, don't it? Well, I can't remember the last time as a Viking fan we was able to, we just got to get ready for the playoffs. It's guaranteed, man. We got a team this year.
I'm all in, man.
Yeah,
I'm all in. Which is why they should still, I think, be buyers by the trade deadline.
For who, though? For who?
Well, listen, this is a good segue. Because, listen, all the Twitter back and forth, whatever, that's nothing to me. This is my arena right here. Content. Doing stuff on YouTube and saying what it is. Rather than go off back and forth, I'd rather save all my takes for this moment right now. Hey, yo. Not all Giants fans. I'm not singling all of you out, but Giants Twitter. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all want the smoke? Here it is. Last week, we did a show talking about how the Vikings should try and trade for Dexter Lawrence. Yep. And we put out the clip all throughout the socials, whatever. And Giants Twitter just mob attacked us to hell saying, you guys are idiots. You guys shouldn't have microphone podcast equipment. That who the hell said that Dexter Lawrence is available in a trade? Apparently, for Giants Twitter, you got to dumb shit down to the lowest common denominator for them to understand anything. Again, not all Giants fans, just Giants Twitter. So let's break this down. We did a show, should the Vikings try and trade for Dexter Lawrence? Well, who said he's available? Nobody did.
Nobody.
Giants Twitter. Obviously, when we talk about a subject like that, we're implying if you are able to trade for a guy like Dexter Lawrence because it takes two to tango. By the way, do you think Giants Twitter making a trade starts off by, excuse me, my name is Joe Shane of the New York Giants. I'd like to make an announcement. Excuse me, everybody in the media gather around. Dexter Lawrence is available for a trade.
Who wants
send in your best offers. No, Giants Twitter, that's not how it works. You want to know how it works? For the Giants in particular, 2 reasons. First off is due diligence. Teams call other teams about players not on the trade block all the damn time.
Yep.
And this isn't content pushing or engagement farming or clickbait. These are facts. Hey, SK Rap. You remember during the draft, in the middle of that draft, it came up. Vikings tried to call the Chargers to gauge interest on a Justin Herbert trade.
Yep.
Why? Because of due diligence. There's a chance we're not going to get our quarterback in this draft, but hey, guess what? Hey, this is what we're willing to offer. Are you down for it or not? And the Chargers, they shut it down. But did the Chargers make an announcement? Hey, Justin Herbert is available for a trade. No, they didn't. Also, Adam Schefter reported 3 teams contacted the Vikings. 3. The Jets, the Colts, the Niners. All contacted the Vikings to gauge interest on a Justin Jefferson trade. Why? Because of due diligence. Did the Vikings announce Justin Jefferson is available? No. So because of due diligence, the Vikings, hey, my apologies, Giants Twitter, allow me to correct my mistake and double the hell down. The Vikings should call Joe Schoen and the Giants every single day. Not just for due diligence, but because I tried to be nice about this, the Giants, their front office is stupid.
Dumb.
If you're stupid enough to give Daniel Jones, after throwing 15 touchdown passes in a season, and the two good games he had that year was against the Vikings, led by Ed Donatell's defense, which, by the way, is like a professional quarterback going up against a JUCO defense. You looked at that and said, oh my God. Mind you, Mac Jones also had a great game against the Vikings that year.
Career game.
They looked at that and said, oh my God. He's our franchise quarterback. Maybe they didn't say it out loud, but money talks. And they paid him franchise quarterback money. If they're stupid enough to do that, why wouldn't they be stupid enough to do other stuff? Hey, Joe Schoen, are you dumb enough to trade Dexter Lawrence right now? No? Okay, I'll call you tomorrow. They should call him every single... Yes, the Vikings should try and trade for Dexter Lawrence every day until the trade deadline passes. I'll call him myself.
You know, the Giants would get them late night texts like, "Hey, you up?
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence tonight.
You up?
What you trying to see? What you want? Well, you can have whatever you want.
Man,
We're trying to get Dexter.
Shout out Randy, man. He cooked for all of us. We don't even got to say anything, man. You know, to be honest with you, I can't even say anything. You know what I mean? I'll sound.
I mean, quite honestly, the Vikings run New York. If we're being honest,
yeah, we actually do.
We kind of run New York. Now, granted, the Jets game wasn't in New York, but we took care of it. We took care of New York.
But I mean,
that was a great rant.
But I get it though, because if you're Giants Twitter, you can't stomach the idea of 11 more games of that garbage ass product that you call a football team. So you got to project that energy somewhere else. So then you see content creators mention anything about their team, their players. How dare you talk about our play? I'm going to talk about it every damn day. Are you kidding me? The hell are we talking about? Who said he's available? Nobody. And guess what?
They were coming hard.
And if you don't think other teams are calling about Dexter Lawrence, man, do I have some trash bags to sell you? Giants Twitter. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. He's more valuable to you now as a trade asset than he is as a football player. Why? Because you're not winning games with Dexter Lawrence on your damn team.
And he looked great last night too.
He did.
He did. That's
shame.
cool.
It's a shame that he's like Randy's saying though. It's a shame because he's just out there playing for fun now.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. Yeah. He needs to come to a team like the Minnesota Vikings so he can actually have a chance to win something. You know what I'm saying? Like facts. It's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Your team sucks. Yeah. And when a team sucks, guess what? Teams are going to call that sucky ass team to try and trade for their best assets. Sorry, this is new information. Giants Twitter.
Yeah, everyone for sale. Shout out to that video, man. That was a great rant, Randy. You know, that video went crazy out of nowhere, just randomly. It's it was up for it was already up for like a couple days, and then all of a sudden
we upset some people.
Yeah,
we're gonna make this a short, and put it out there, and tag all your Giants friends. Let them all see it.
Yeah, no, you definitely got to clip that part, that rant, and put that out there. That's a fact. Like, because they deserve it, man. You know, they were talking crazy, man. Like that, some of the comments were ridiculous. I tried to reply to a couple of them just because I have time today. You know what I mean?
Just started getting personal with people,
but then it's like, you know what? Yeah, let me just fuck it. I mean, it has almost like 500,000 views, bro, which was shocking to me. So
and let them know who runs New York.
Yeah,
the Vikings. So, but that was fun. But let's get to another fun portion of our show. That was one of our rants for the week. We have one rant a week.
That was a good
Randy,
rant.
Whether it be myself or whether it be a rap, we all got a rant for you a week. So stay tuned for those every week. We're here every week, every Monday. So let's get to our Sizzlin 7. Man, I know.
Boy. Oh man, I know. I feel like
this is Randy's least favorite part of the show, you guys. This is his least favorite part. Just FYI.
This is bad.
So going into the week last week, you already know your boy was in first place at 24-11. Rap coming in second at 21-14. And Realistic Randy trailing behind at 17-18, just under 500.
Oh man.
So we brought it into this week's games. And look, we had some confidence for the picks last week from all of us. All right. So let's start with the first game that we picked for. That was San Francisco at Seattle. Rap was the only one to pick San Francisco. Congratulations, Rap, on that. Next game we picked was Arizona at Green Bay. I don't know why you guys picked Arizona at Green Bay, but I got the point on that one. Next game, Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Tampa Bay just absolutely mauled them.
We all picked Tampa Bay, right?
Spencer Rattler at the quarterback. Nope. Realistic Randy picked New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever, man. All right. Just get it out the way.
What's the next game?
I'll take my hits now.
Next game we did was Pittsburgh, Las Vegas. We all picked Pittsburgh. Hey now.
Oh, let's go.
Detroit at Dallas. I don't know why Rap picked Dallas.
Yeah. That was a layup.
That was me picking with my heart. I was picking with my heart.
It was. Cincinnati at the Giants, the big bad Giants. We all went Cincinnati. Giants put up a whopping 7 points in that game, by the way.
Horrible game. What an ugly game all around.
And the final game we predicted was Washington at Baltimore. And Randy picked Washington trying to gain a game on us.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
But that's not bad because by that count, I'm 3-4. So I'm still hanging around a little bit. The comeback, we still got 11 more weeks to go or 12 more weeks to go. The comeback's going to be crazy.
So I only got one of those wrong then, right? Or no, I got two. Dallas and the Pack.
You got two wrong. So Rap went 5-2 this week. Randy went 3-4, and your boy went 6-1. You know,
it's all right.
So
I'm still in it.
I'm getting used to this. I'm 5-2 or 6-1 every week. I mean, this is just like a normal thing.
This week right here, I'm not gonna pick with my heart. Y'all hear me out in the chat.
7-0.
Go bet.
7-0 this week, right?
Use Randy's code, man. Go. We're gonna drop some sauce. We're gonna drop some sauce on y'all tonight.
So going into this week, coming in last place so far, Randy's at 20-22.
Okay.
All right.
Rap is at 26-17. Damn. And your boy's at 30-12. Man, I'm just padding my my lead. I might end up lapping you, Randy. This might be a lap. I might lap you.
You might. I mean, this is just a goofy ass season. Everybody's hurt. Devontae Adams is holding out. You got Hassan Reddick just holding out, like not wanting his money, apparently trying to get traded. That's not gonna.
My fantasy
too much going on.
I'm 0-5 in fantasy, so don't feel bad. Like,
don't get me started on fantasy.
But I thought about it, and I'm like, you gotta pick one. It's like my actual team is 5-0, and my fantasy team is 0-5. I'd much rather take the actual Vikings being 5-0, so it's okay. I'm not even crying about it. For sure.
4 leagues, I picked Brandon Ayuk in all of them because he got that.
I got Brandon Ayuk too.
I'm so pissed.
I'm
dropping him.
Yeah, he's fucking pissing me off.
Yeah, and that's just the start of my problems. I'm not going to bore the viewers with all of them, but it's rough out here.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's hard out here for a pimp, you know. But let's go to week 7. We got some pretty good games. Obviously, the Vikings Lions, which we'll save for last. But first game on the docket, the Houston Texans traveling to Green Bay to play the Packers. It's going to be a really good game.
That's a good game.
I expect a shootout. This is going to be a shootout.
Me too. I'm going Texans.
Packers.
Yeah, give me the Texans, bro. I'm going Texans.
I'm going to go Texans too.
Nice.
There you go. Texans. There's a chance.
Yep.
So Randy goes Green Bay. Next game on the docket, Kansas City versus the 49ers in San Francisco. Super Bowl preview. Or not preview, excuse me. Super Bowl
not this year.
Rematch. My bad. Rematch.
Go ahead, Rap.
I'm going, you know what? I'm going to go 49ers in this one. I think the Kansas City Chiefs going to take their first L in San Fran and the Bay.
Okay.
Chiefs.
I'm gonna go KC as well.
Brandon Ayuk will drop like 4 passes that could be touchdowns.
Next game, another really good one. Oh, this is a Monday night game. We have 2 Monday night games next week, so this will
Can't
be
pick
right in the
those.
middle of our. Yeah, can't pick those. All the other games are kind of.
Oh well, let's just do some.
We got to do it, even if there's some ass bowls. Do it.
Definitely some ass bowls. Let's go. You know, since let's stay on topic. Eagles at Giants.
Yeah,
It's at Giants.
At Giants.
that's an ass bowl too. That's crazy.
It is an ass bowl. I'm gonna say the Giants.
Oh,
I'm gonna say the Giants. Nick Sirianni, dog. The Eagles stink. And Nick Sirianni, after beating the bum ass Cleveland Browns by 4 points, the worst team in the league, starts talking shit to his own fans.
I know, right?
That was his Super Bowl moment. That was his Super Bowl moment.
Loser. I don't get me started on Sirianni.
So that told me everything I need to know. They can lose to anybody, even the New York Giants. I'm gonna pick the Giants.
And look, we're kind of hyping the Giants up in this little 2-minute segment here.
I'm going Philly though. Facts.
I saw a stat on the Giants today, real quick, where defensively the Giants haven't given up more than 21 points. Defensively, we had the pick 6 against them in week 1. They haven't given up more than 21 points defensively this year, all season on the defensive side of the ball. So credit them there, I guess. But okay, so Rap's going Philly. I gotta go Philly too.
Nice. If I hit on these picks,
that'd be awesome. You back up.
So one thing that Sirianni does do well is beat the shit out of the New York Giants. So I think it's another ass whooping for the Giants in that game. Next game, let's go. Okay, I missed this one. Seahawks at Falcons. Seahawks at Falcons.
Seahawks.
Yep, I'm going Seahawks.
I'm going Falcons.
Right.
It's Kirktober, man. It's Kirktober. Seattle ain't looking hot, man. They're not looking hot.
They need a bounce back win.
It's in Atlanta too.
They're desperate.
I'm going Atlanta here. So we need 2 more games. Let's do Jets Steelers Sunday night in Pittsburgh.
Oh, Steelers.
Yeah.
Easy.
Steelers?
Yeah. Hold on. Jets. Steelers.
It's in Pittsburgh. I think that's what makes the difference for me there. So I think I'm gonna go Pittsburgh as well.
I'm gonna go Jets. I'll go Jets.
Okay.
I'll go Jets. They defense going up against Justin Fields. I think it's gonna be. I don't give a fuck.
I think it's gonna be a really low scoring, just like every fucking.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a 13-10
classic Steelers.
Yeah, classic Steelers mucky game. Next game before we get to the big one, let's go. Ooh, that's too ugly of a game. We can't do that one. Let's go Broncos at Saints Thursday night football.
Saints.
Okay.
Give me the Broncos.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Broncos. I mean, it's gonna be a good game. 2 rookie quarterbacks are gonna be playing because Rattler is gonna be starting for the Saints. So I mean, Bo Nix is pretty ass too, but like they're both. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Broncos just because I feel like they've won a couple games already. They've won a couple with Bo. So
this is like the epitome of a Thursday night game.
This shit
like what we expect the Thursday night.
This is gonna be a horrible game. It's a horrible game.
It's just too bad.
It is going to be bad.
It's just 2 really bad teams. Like, man. Even though I'm gonna hate whatever team I pick because I hate both teams, mainly the head coach of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah,
but I think I'm gonna go Denver.
Boy, if I hit these
if
picks, I think that's 4 where it's me solo.
You could really catch up if you hit on those shits for real.
Yeah.
Yes, because you got the Green Bay game. You're alone there. You have the Giants all alone there, and so you have 3.
Okay.
In the New Orleans one.
All right.
So yeah, you guys can catch up there. You can get right back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Hail Mary week.
That brings us to our main one, the big one. the NFC Championship preview. The Detroit Lions traveling to Minnesota in that ruckus crowd at US Bank Stadium. Let's get our prediction for the game, but let's also get a bold prediction as far as maybe a player stat line or something crazy happening. Let's get both of those in. So, what do you guys think? Detroit at Minnesota.
Yeah, Randy,
Rap.
you go first. You go first.
No, yeah,
Viking-
you go first.
Vikings win. I think it will be a close one. I will say 28-24.
Okay.
My bold prediction is that Andrew Van Ginkel will get an interception, not a pick six, but he'll drop back in the flat, a pass intended for Jahmyr Gibbs, and he picks it off.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I like
Right.
that. I like that. I'm gonna say Vikings win for sure. You know, I'm definitely taking the Vikings. I'm gonna say the score is gonna be 31-28. All right, 31-28. And I
Okay.
say that Justin Jefferson has 170 plus. All right, so he's gonna get over 170.
He's due for a big game, though.
He
I will
is.
say
That's
that.
true.
He
And
is
guess
due for
what?
one of those
And
games.
the team he always does it against is Detroit. Like he
Yeah.
always gets close to 200 on Detroit. I don't know what it is, but it's something about Detroit. They just cannot fuck with 18, bro. Like that's a fact.
Yeah.
So this is the game I'm picking, man. 170 plus and at least a touchdown, but he's gonna have a ton of yards though for sure. They're gonna target him a lot. Because I believe KOC also looks at things like that. Like he goes back and looks at the past, like, damn, you had 190 in this game with Nick Mullins at quarterback. Or I think he had like two something, didn't he? I think he had like 212 or some shit.
Yeah, he had
was that
200
last
plus,
year?
I believe. Yeah.
So like, I mean, like he always fucking shredding the damn Lions, man. I
Yeah.
don't see anything different this Sunday. their defense is they have nobody that gonna be able to hold him, man. It's
Yeah.
gonna get.
I mean, you know I can't fuck up the rotation. Vikings every week this year,
facts.
and it ain't gonna change this week. Now, with Aiden Hutchinson, I'd really have to think about it because but losing Aiden Hutchinson in this game, you're on the road. We're already on a run here. Like we're both playing up against a buzzsaw. Whether it's the Lions going up against us or whether us meeting the Lions, it's buzzsaw versus buzzsaw. But I just think ours is moving a whole lot more powerful and a whole lot quicker. And then them losing Aiden Hutchinson is a big hit for them because that's a major chess piece for a game like this.
Absolutely.
Being able to get after the passer, that's your superstar. That's your kind of the glue of your team, if we're being honest. So going Minnesota, I'm gonna say 31-29. And I say that Harrison Smith interception.
Yeah.
But I see a shootout kind of going here. But I do think our defense still kind of gets after it. The sack numbers may not be as high as what we're usually expecting because this offensive line is really, really good.
Yeah.
But I trust in Brian Flores to draw up a hell of a scheme and to get after the quarterback. And I think Harrison, I think it'll be his first pick of the season, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or did he have?
No,
He
I
had
think
one
he's
against
got
the
one
Giants.
already.
He had
Yeah,
one against
he's
the
got
Giants.
one.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think he gets his second pick of the year.
Pretty sure
I think
everybody in the secondary has a pick.
I'm telling you, it feels like everybody
Shaq
does.
Griffin.
Honestly,
No,
He's
Shaq
got
Griffin
one.
does,
He's
yeah.
got one. Byron,
Yeah.
Gilly,
Byron got one.
Cam,
Yeah,
Hitman,
they all got
everybody.
You know what?
They all got one.
It's not going to be Harrison Smith. Blake Cashman gets on the internet or the
interception.
the interception train.
Okay.
So he finally joins the bandwagon of getting an interception.
Did
on
Ivan
this
Pace get an
next man
interception
up.
this year in the first couple?
No,
Not
I don't.
yet? No.
I don't think so.
No, he did it. I think Cashman gets one.
Okay.
this week.
Okay.
So
I like Skull Mafia, man. 31-28 overtime win by walk-off Willie.
Walk-off Willie.
Walk-off Willie, man. I like that.
Perfect
Will the
kicker.
thrill coming. Will the thrill coming?
I'm telling you.
I
So
respect it.
just to go over our picks here, Texans versus Green Bay. Me and Rap are going with the Texans. Randy's going with Green Bay. Kansas City versus the 49ers. Me and Randy are going KC. Rap is going the 49ers. Philly at the Giants. Me and Rap are going Philly. Randy's going the Giants, his favorite team outside of the Vikings. Next game, Seattle at Atlanta. I'm going Atlanta. Randy and Rap are going Seahawks. Jets at Pittsburgh. Me and Randy are going Pittsburgh at home. Rap is going with the Jets. Denver at New Orleans. Randy's going New Orleans. Me and Rap are going Denver. And then obviously Detroit at Minnesota. We're all going with the Vikings. You already know what it is. I don't think that's going to change. In a very close, high-scoring game, I think we all predicted. So, man, it's gonna be a fun weekend. I can't wait for that game. I felt like it should have been flexed. I think you mentioned that earlier, Randy. It should have been flexed to a Sunday night game instead of this fucking god awful Jets versus Pittsburgh game. But I guess you got to get Aaron Rodgers out there somehow.
I'll take the early game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Great for us.
Oh yeah,
Get the content out the way. Enjoy football the rest of the day. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I just want a dub. I don't care when it happens. Just get me the dub. Let's move to 6-0 and let's keep this
Big
train.
sixes in the chat this week,
Big
man.
six.
Y'all already know what time it is, man. Let's go.
Big six. So I'm excited. I know you guys are excited as well. Anything we want to leave the people before we get out of here?
Dexter Lawrence. Vikings should trade for Dexter Lawrence.
And fuck you, Giants. Nah,
Every week we're doing this. Dexter Lawrence, if you're listening, dog.
Yo, this is crazy, bro. Like the Giants was week 1, bro. We're on week 7 and we still like, I don't know. I feel like there's some secret beef with the Giants, man. Shout out my boy TP and Juke, man, and Big Dash knows. But the rest of y'all, man, yeah, I feel like there's some beef there, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, there ain't no beef. We just want
There's none.
Yeah,
they're mad at themselves and they're projecting it on us because their team sucks.
If it's smoke, it's smoke. Fuck it. I'm with it.
That's all.
All right, guys. We appreciate everybody tapping in as always. If you don't already, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and TikTok as well. Just type in the Purple Parlor. We'll pop right up. And we're on Spotify again as well to make that announcement. So if you just want to hear the audio and you're at work and you're not able to listen on YouTube or watch on YouTube, go on over to Spotify, type in Purple Parlor, give us a follow, turn that little bell on so you get notifications when we drop those audio podcasts. So be sure to give us a follow over there as well. We're trying to pump those numbers on all social media platforms. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. This is a 5-0 podcast. And the next time we talk to you guys, let's hope it's a 6-0 podcast. So until next time, after this huge game against Detroit, taking control of this NFC, let's get it. Skull Vikings, y'all. Until next time, it's your boy SK, Randy, Rap. Let's get it, y'all. Peace.
I say the same. I say the same.